Welcome back to CHOWTIME Pods. Your host, Red. We got a video today from MTR.
Imagine being married to your wife and you have 3 kids with her. And then you find out that one of the kids is not yours. That means that your wife cheated on you. Crazy. How about if you found out that 2 of the kids that you thought were yours are not? Your blood is probably boiling at this point. Well, guess what? In Deshawn Flood's case, this man found out that all 3 of the kids were not his. And to make things even worse, not only was this woman cheating on this man, she was cheating on him with his relatives. So the kids belong to his relatives. After getting this information, Deshawn decides to go down to his wife's job and confront her about it. She sees him coming and runs inside of one of her co-workers' car. That didn't stop Deshawn from shooting her multiple times.
Damn.
And when she tried to run while shot,
Bros, as bad as things get, never throw your life away. Never. It's worth more than this.
Deshawn chased her down and pistol whipped her. After hearing the gunshot, some of the co-workers called the cops. The cops came, arrested Deshawn, and the wife made it to the hospital where she survived. There are some people on the internet that are saying it's a valid crash out because not...
The crash out, I understand, because I would be upset too. Never throw your life away for a crash out. Never.
Not only was she cheating on him, she was cheating on this man with his relatives. And others are saying that they believe that he took it too far.
Two things can be right at the same time, right?
True.
While I do not condone violence, I understand where it came from.
Agreed.
Before I give you guys my full range of thoughts, let's actually go over the official news story of the incident.
We're following breaking news out of Sterling Heights, where police say a husband shot his wife in her work parking lot. That shooting happened at the Pomeroy Living Center on 15 Mile near DeQuinder. Gino Vici has an update on the victim's condition and the investigation.
Yeah, this is still a very active scene behind me. Take a look at this. Look at the bullet casing markings on the ground here. Sterling Heights police saying around 8 o'clock this morning they received a 911 call that a woman had been shot in the parking lot here at the Pomeroy Living Center off of 15 Mile near DeQuinder. We're told an employee was shot by her husband in the parking lot. We're told they both lived in the city of Warren and that the husband came up to his wife's employer and shot her several times. Police thankfully were able to respond to the scene within seconds. The wife was rushed to a nearby hospital where she is still alive. Police encountered the husband who was armed with a revolver and were able to take him into custody. Here is Captain Mario.
Damn, with the revolver, he was able to take that many shots? Holy
Ashtonelli talking about the moment officers encountered the gunman.
Like I said, our officers were here, very quickly. So, which makes all the difference in the world of somebody with a gun and they're actively shooting at people. So this happened to be a targeted incident because it was a domestic situation. But you never know how these things are going to transpire, right? How they're going to work out. Officers show up, you have a guy with a gun, Does he go peacefully or does this end up, turning into a shootout with our officers? It's a, very stressful situation on everybody, including our officers arriving. All in all, a good ending to a bad situation.
Again, we're told the female victim is expected to survive despite being shot several times in the body. And again, her husband has been taken into custody. No word yet on when he could be charged. In Sterling Heights, Gino Vici, CBS News, Detroit.
Listen, with all of them shell casings on the ground, and that's my assumption of all of the blue tags down up in it, and it being a revolver, if it was just one revolver, this brother was reloading it.
Yeah.
In order to finish the job.
That was exactly what I was thinking. It was like, there's only 8 shots in that thing, like at most of certain revolvers. So he was boom, 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 boom. Damn,
I
bro.
cannot imagine, not after your first one, not after your second one, years later, but after your third one, years later, after that, you find the most devastating news that a man can find out. That all 3 of them are not yours.
But related to you still. They're your nieces and nephews.
I can't imagine what this man was feeling. I can imagine the heartbreak and the heartache of what this man experienced. So I find it beyond difficult to judge him harshly for his actions, because any man would have completely lost his mind. Any man would have completely blacked out to know that you've been the pawn for years now. You got that on bended knee.
I can agree with MTR on this, but I can also disagree that as far as things can get and as high as our emotions do, don't throw your life away. Again, I know that horrible things happen. Horrible things happen to people all the time. I get the crash out too, but I don't want to say it's okay because it shouldn't be. We should be able to at least walk away from this and just cut our losses in a sense. I understand the loss is huge. I totally understand. I just don't want guys going to jail over things that they never done. But it was things that was done to them and they end up going to jail because they crashed out. That sucks.
And you made a commitment to her. Meanwhile, she done selected someone else in your family to receive the eggplant from. And the nasty thing is that oftentimes these liars will go through great lengths in order to not have sex with you. Meanwhile, they're getting their back blown out by the other person participating in the madness. All men have their limits, and the sudden realization that 3 of your babies are not yours and that you are effectively the ATM in a situation while another man is the father of those 3 children is crazy. Beyond nasty, beyond vengeful, beyond spiteful. Again, not condoning the man's actions, but pointing out that I understand how deeply you can be involved to go there. But I also wanted to talk through the obviousness of how this entire situation would have never occurred, have been alleviated. I mean, I guess outside of his wife being a 304 and outside of his family member being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that would have been if DNA testing was mandatory at birth. Not,
I always talk highly about family, but not everybody is a good family member. Just note that.
Not only is it not mandatory, but it is commonplace within our society for women to shame men into asking for a DNA test. And I'm sure that this man had sneaking suspicions for years, but with his rose-colored glasses, he just blindly trusted. But when you realize that the state is de-incentivized for paternity testing, because a lot of times what happens is that the woman will select the higher income earning man. So while that they think that they are the father, they can get more money for their situation. And even if the situation was to end via divorce or what have you, some child support, they'd still get more money or kickback on the way anyway. Meanwhile, Tyrone, that's dicking her down, gets off scot-free because he doesn't have as much money to participate. But when you realize...
Isn't that ridiculous?
...that the state receives money, it's called Title 4D, from the collection of child support payments, you begin to realize that they are incentivized not to officially check who's the biological father. At the point that he realized that number one wasn't his, he may not have had such an incredible crash out, at least to take it to this level. Yes, TikTok has been ablaze with reactions in regards to this situation, and I wanted to go through a couple.
Free that man. If this story about Deshawn Hood is true, the man who allegedly shot his wife because he found out that 3 of their children were not his and instead were family members, free that man. That's a crime of passion. Hear me out. Some of y'all women will flip out when another woman texts your man, and y'all are destroying cars and burning clothes and trying to run them over.
Okay, I see where she's going with it, and I can't even disagree. I can't.
But this man finds out that his wife has cheated on him not once, not twice, but 3 times with family members. Think about the fact that this man is at 4th of July, hosted at his house, and all of these people that are cheating with his wife are sitting at his table eating his food. He is at Christmas watching his kids opening up gifts. Yeah, this was from Uncle such and such. In reality, that's from your daddy.
Oh,
whole
disgusting.
time, this woman is looking this man in the face. Yeah, I need you to go work.
This is just high-level demon stuff. It's beyond diabolical.
Overtime because we need some back-to-school clothes for the kids. Them ain't his kids. I fully believe that it needs to be mandatory.
Come on, talk
that
about
we
it.
do DNA tests
Come on.
at birth for everybody.
Agreed.
Married, dating, hookups.
And before I was a little bit against it because of like the whole data of DNA and stuff, but screw it. Just test everybody.
Everybody needs to be doing DNA tests
Come on.
before they sign a birth certificate.
Come on.
Because this is one of them situations where, very sad, the woman survived. Allegedly, she is still at the hospital recovering from her injuries. But this is a crime of passion. That man blacked out.
Yeah.
Because I know I would.
Listen, and the hose is currently mad in her comment section right now, and let the hose be mad, of course. If you have a system of accountability, one that is 99.9% accurate, like a DNA test, of course they're going to be mad. Of course they're going to want to fight up against it. Of course. But you know what's just so crazy is that, like, if you understand human anatomy, female anatomy, there's only like 4 or 5 days in a month that you can get pregnant. So they jump through leaps and bounds. This woman jumped, right? Like, she is planning, she is strategizing. And it's so sick to think that not only is she having raw sex, but like, you can time your period in a way to not get pregnant, right? Like, there's so many holes that you can step through in order to at least protect yourself if you would cheat.
Literally.
But she is so brazen to not give a shit. But I agree with her. This man needs to be freed. All the more reason why I talk so much about identification of hoes on this platform. Why? Because the more likely that they were a hoe previously, they gonna be a hoe when you together with them. And the ring don't mean shit about it. Promiscuity has never added value to a man looking to retain a woman in a relationship or in a marriage. And in fact, it is a key indicator of her disassociation or her disconnection of how she views herself or how she views her actions, her dirty, nasty actions. Let's go over another.
TikTok, I'm sorry, but I do not agree with you on this one. Now, hear me out. I don't agree with him attempting to unalive his wife because I believe he deserves better. If she didn't appreciate him, and
that's where I'm with her on this boat. He deserves better. He should move on, start a life over. But damn it, he's probably gonna be owning child support.
All that he brought to that relationship, and she stepped out and had children with his family members, she didn't deserve him. And there are plenty of fish in the sea and plenty of women who are looking for a man to build with.
See, I also disagree. Like, the way she's talking about it is as if this man is not going to owe child support and all of these things when he leaves the relationship either way because he's been named the father.
Looking for a man to have children with, looking for a man to be their protector and their provider. And his so-called wife was not the one for him. Sadly, this is how the relationship has ended. The best revenge is success. And that's something that a lot of people have to understand. He went to her job with the intentions of unaliving her. That means it was a malicious act. That lady is wrong, but I do not agree that he should have attempted to unalive her. Now, I know some of y'all out there agree with me and understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need y'all to hit me up in the comment section and let me know what you think.
Listen, I agree with the sentiment because I tell men all day, you got to be responsible, accountable for your actions. And I don't like what the man did. I'm just saying that I understand where this could have came from, that it was a crime of passion. True. But she's right. I talk about all day about responding to situations as opposed to emotion.
I say these things. I might have been just wringing her neck.
Emotionally
myself.
Reacting to something. But that pain of this level of betrayal, I hope this never finds me.
So you cheat on your husband, not once, not twice, 3 times, pop out 3 kids, and in the midst of you popping out them 3 motherfucking kids, they're by one of his relatives. In the midst of them being by one of his relatives, you've been letting this man take care of 3 kids that you knew damn well was not his.
Right,
so
they
he
know.
then proceeds to go up to your motherfucking job, pistol whip your ass with the motherfucking gun, and shoot your ass 7 motherfucking times. I think that's a very valid crash out. See, women like to tend to do this thing called play stupid games. So when a man helped them find the dumbass prize they was looking for so bad, people want to think they wrong. I don't think he's wrong. The ever? That's a very fucking valid crash out if you ask me. Because I would have probably did the same motherfucking thing finding out 3 kids not motherfucking mine. Have you lost your rabbit ass mind?
Listen, so she's popping off. The thing is, what's crazy about all of this is that what she did to him is not illegal.
It's not.
Oh, let's talk about that for a quick second. That's not illegal, baby. Paternity fraud is not illegal. But what he did to her is absolutely illegal. Now, I'm not trying to say that the legalities of a society is to supersede the moralities of a society. I'm not trying to argue that. I'm just displaying some of the double standards. You can effectively ruin a man's life, but if that man does something to ruin your life, and in this case it was physical harm or violence, that man gets put behind bars. And what's crazy is that if this young brother didn't have the sneaking suspicion of something that was going on, he never would have got the DNA test. He would have been none the wiser. He'd be still working 8 to 10 hours per day, trying to make enough money in the city of Detroit to provide for his wife and his 3 non-kids.
I'm wondering how he found out.
And he would have been none the wiser. Guys,
twice, 3 times, pop out 3 kids. And in the midst of you popping out them 3 motherfucking kids, they're by one of his relatives. And in the midst of them being by one of his relatives, you've been letting this man take care of 3 kids that you knew damn well was not his.
Right,
so
they
he
know.
then proceeds to go up to your motherfucking job, pistol whip your ass with the motherfucking gun, and shoot your ass 7 motherfucking times. I think that's a very valid crash out. See, women like to tend to do this thing called play stupid games. So when a man helped them find the dumbass prize they was looking for so bad, people want to think they wrong. I don't think he's wrong. What so the ever? That's a very fucking valid crash out if you ask me, because I would have probably did the same motherfucking thing, finding out 3 kids and I'm motherfucking mine. Have you lost your rabbit ass mind?
Listen, so she's popping off. The thing is, what's crazy about all of this is that what she did to him is not illegal.
It's not.
Oh, let's talk about that for a quick second. That's not illegal, baby. Paternity fraud is not illegal. But what he did to her is absolutely illegal. Now, I'm not trying to say that the legalities of a society is to supersede the moralities of a society. I'm not trying to argue that. I'm just displaying some of the double standards. You can effectively ruin a man's life, but if that man does something to ruin your life, and in this case it was physical harm or violence, that man gets put behind bars. And what's crazy is that if this young brother didn't have the sneaking suspicion of something that was going on, he never would have got the DNA test. He would have been none the wiser. He'd be still working 8 to 10 hours per day, trying to make enough money in the city of Detroit to provide for his wife and his 3 non-kids.
I'm wondering how he found out.
And he would have been none the wiser. Guys,
it is very hard to judge people in this position. Like, as much as I want the man to have overcome and do better and walk away in that crime of passion, hell, like I said earlier, I might have been just wringing her neck instead of shooting too. And I don't condone the violence either. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.